Bridge Disability Ministries is a community of people who live with disabilities, our friends, family, fellow church members, clergy, as well as other allies. Our staff and volunteers help make possible a world in which people living with disabilities have full access to community life and are valued as indispensable members of society. Together, we work to build accessible communities, end isolation among people with disabilities, and create a world in which each and every one of us can thrive.
As I look around this equipment center, I see all of these pieces of equipment, and each one is an individual life. It's an individual story. And in a sense, this place is breathing. What Bridge is doing, it's one person at a time. It's one story at a time, and it's one piece of equipment at a time.
We would not be here if it wasn't for the actual community believing in what we're doing. And that first aspect that starts with it is the actual equipment that people give us. We are doing our best to make sure that we are being green and we're keeping as much equipment out of the landfill. So for an example, a four-wheel walker, we can get about 3 uses or 3 people, or a time span of about 3 to 5 years when it comes to someone being able to use that and us getting it back in. And then with a wheelchair, we've seen an estimated of 5 uses or about 7 years of it coming in and out of our equipment center. So to an extent, it can be a little wild seeing one piece of equipment at the beginning of the year, and then later on, 4, 5, 6 months later, you walk or bump into someone that says, hey, I don't need this anymore. Some nice examples that we've had would be one person, they got a Hoyer lift from us, and it was a specific Hoyer lift, just in a sense that whatever adult family home or nursing home that had it before put ribbon and color on the sides of it. So there's just green and blue ribbon on each side. And personally, we thought it would be fun to keep on. And when we finally gave it out, about 2 or 3 years later, unfortunately, that home, they no longer needed the equipment because they're downsizing. They donated it back to us. And sure enough, the same ribbons is on that Hoyer. And it's just in a sense of that of people are grateful to use it and they're kind to the equipment because they understand that they're gonna give it back, and they're buying into our program here of being able to pass out this equipment as much as we can.
The biggest thing for me with working here is that there's a peace of mind that comes along with making a difference in the community. Like, I never lose any sleep, at night wondering if I'm doing the right thing or if I'm, tiptoeing any ethical boundaries in my career. It's really a paradigm shift, putting others first. And you see so many cases that walk through the door every day. Like a lady this morning, she, was deaf, she couldn't walk, but she really loved to cook. So, she's actually in on a tune-up for a power wheelchair that we gave her last year, but, we were able to set her up with a motorized chair that actually had like an elevate feature. So she was able to get around and, do her thing. And, it's just stuff like that. There was a little girl last week, 4 years old, and she had a physical disability, and, we were able to provide her with a walker, and she walked out the door, with a big smile on her face. There's also a lady this morning that we gave her a hospital bed, and she said, you know what, because of Bridge, I don't have to put my husband in an adult family home or assisted living facility because of the gear you provide, I can take care of him, at home. So, it's so far beyond just providing a piece of equipment. It's very rewarding, making an impact in people's lives.